morning, YouTube. What we have today is this big overgrown bank that needs to be trimmed down. The homeowner is getting cited from the township, mostly because it's growing over the roadway. I bid this job months ago and just haven't had time to get around to it. So as you can see, it is pretty overgrown. So I'm gonna hook up the flail mower and see how many hidden rocks and chunks of concrete and stuff I can hit. Let me get this hooked up and we'll get started. Alright, let's give this a try. I want to keep the door shut so nothing flies after me here. Let me start up here in the beginning. I guess I'll start down at the bottom, I guess, just in case something goes wrong. I already see the hose I don't like, so I'm going to fix that quick. Curling up at the I really don't like doing this stuff by all the houses, and there's gonna be tons of cars driving by, but gotta do it. Settings here. So here's the property line, so we're gonna stay off that, obviously. As you can see, making quick progress of it. Let's throw you on a time lapse here. It's about as far as I can reach from down below here, and then there's a yard right on the other side, so I'll reach down from the top and hopefully I can get to the middle part. So yeah, looking pretty good. working pretty good. It's flinging a bit more shit across the road than I'd like it to. I mean, it's all small, just like little pieces of bark, but it's all over the road. And I forgot to grab the blower. Well, I didn't forget, I couldn't find it. I think the guys took the one, and the job trailer's on a hardscape job. So I didn't have an extra one sitting around. They are handy to have, I just don't use it very often. I rented it once earlier this season, which you saw a video of. If you didn't, you can go back through and find it. Clearing a basin. And now this one, and then there's another one coming up. Probably about double this size. Has some bigger stuff in it. We have to do that at some point as well. But that one's not by a road, so that one you can fling wherever. I actually see the house up here now. Get some bodies for the switch and goes for winter time. They make flatbeds for the salt spreaders that work specifically for that. I really want to get a van box to put the hardscape stuff in. Work on that over the winter. Get that geared up so come springtime, we don't have a trailer filled with a bunch of shit. And it's to the point now, it doesn't matter how well you organize it, there's just too much shit, so it never looks organized. Gets a little tippy on the road when I'm extended all the way out. I'm just going to cut this back for him. I'm not really going to go too crazy with it. Get it off their yard a little bit for them. I had the windows open and now there's these damn lantern flies all over the cab. They keep landing on me. This should be the last section I have to do here. See, like bigger stuff like that, if I just hit it a couple times, cut it off, but I don't want it to go flying, so I kind of do it gingerly. down. Maybe. Nope. Too tippy. So I gotta try not to tear the yard up too much. Trying to sit in one spot. So I got my blade down, so now I should be able to gingerly reach down here. Doesn't need to be beautiful. Obviously, it looks 10 times better than it did before I started. Township's just making them clean it up off the road. Which, if I had to guess, it's probably more so the neighbors complaining and the Township having to do something about it. Might be able to pull that up. Section right here. Wish I had a blower. Maybe I could find a rake that I could take from them real quick and just rake the yard off and get the bigger stuff off the road. It's designed to shoot it left to right. angle I'm at, obviously, so I'm trying to stay as parallel to the bank as I can. Guess I'll have to get that from the bottom. It's fine, I can climb the curb. I don't want to hit too many more of these big ones, because those are the ones that breaks off just right, you'll get a big log to go flying. And I can't really see if a car's coming until it's on me, so we'll call that good enough there. I have this stuff in the grass. I don't really want to scratch up the grass too much. Actually, I don't even think it's grass. I think it's where the overgrowth used to be, and now it's not there, so it looks like it should be grass. I'm gonna get this stuff kind of pushed off and chopped up while I'm up here. There. There's this last little piece right here. Now I can cut that on my way out. Get down to the bottom, but that basically looks a little different than when I got here. So I got the last little bit right there where the car just went through. I'll get from the bottom, and that'll be it. Alright, there we are. Guys are only right down the road. They have the blower. They're going to blow the road off and chainsaw a couple of these bigger stumps I couldn't get. Pick up some of these bigger branches I could have churned up, but I didn't want to launch stuff. There you have it. About 2 hours. Not even, I don't think. Works good. A lot better than it was. Adios.